Then, you know what you are? EP, aka Enemy of Progress.
What is the age group of youth ministries?
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
4 to 30. We used to say 30 plus. It's 30.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
Good day, everyone, and I hope that you're doing well. We're going to talk about a very controversial thing that's been going on social media and everywhere that we're seeing it. People are complaining, people are saying it's good, people are saying it's bad. It's a kind of mixed emotions around it. And today I'm going to share my thoughts and also post some videos which I've got which make sense about the 30 plus. And without wasting any time, let us kick it in today's video. Now, based on my own opinion, I think this is a great idea, because this is very much important that we need to understand about the Seventh-day Adventist Church, is that at the end of the day, as Adventist young people, we need to start to become in the church, meaning being elders, being deacons, and what we love to say, being in the mainstream of the church. We cannot always be in the youth program for such a long time, because at the end of the day, we are costing the church a lot, because at the end of the day, the baton needs to be passed on. Leadership to young people needs to be a smooth and perfect transitional thing that are happening in the church. But today we are seeing it in the church today that it is not happening like that. And why is it not happening like that? Because young people are not in that state of saying it is time for me to take upon this great mission, to take upon this work in the church and take it. Now, when Pastor Busi touched on this one, it was very much controversial and people did not understand why is such thing happening like this. And to me, in my opinion, I feel it is best, because we need leadership. We need young people to start taking upon such great responsibility inside the church. And also, we all know that in each and everything that we do, Pastor Luponwani touched on this when I was attending the TOC Youth Congress.
The issue of the 30 plus, and mentioned one of the latest changes in policy. In the past, the age bracket for young adults upper limit was 30 plus. Now that plus had no limit. You could be 85 and say, I'm plus. And so the latest change was to say 30 and then full stop. Now what he was doing, he was explaining the policy change. There are usually two streams that flow within youth ministries. One, there's the policy change. We say this is the policy change. And then the second stream is how we manage the change. Now last week, he was not talking about how we manage the change. He was talking about just the policy change. There's a change in policy. Now this is how he has managed the change in the past, so that we can get an idea of how the change is going to be managed going forward. When we were changing the adventure uniform from orange to burgundy, the policy change was effected 2018 at the Global Youth Leadership Congress, and then we agreed on a phase-in, phase-out period. He then said at the division, unions, you decide how long you want your phase-in, phase-out periods to be. In the SAU, we decided it was going to be 5 years. For 5 years, the orange neckerchief, which is phased out, would be legal for 5 years. And the new would also be legal. At the same time, you could wear both orange and burgundy. That would allow people who have already bought that neckerchief to use it until their kids are out of adventurers. But those who are starting would start on the burgundy one. Now, that's how you manage the change. You announce the change in policy, and then we manage it. Give people information, give people time to prepare on how to exit. So what he was doing last week was to announce what? The policy change. What's going to happen now is that, as he has done in the past, and when we spoke about it this week, he said, of course, the phase in, phase out will happen as usual. Those were his words, as usual. So we are going to now get the announcement of the phase in, phase out of the plus.
Now, when we see it there, he touched on the phasing out of the 30 plus, that plus sign. There is a transitional thing that they need to discuss and say, since there is that plus sign that we need to talk about, that we need to phase out. Same applies when we changed our adventurer uniform. There was a period of 5 years whereby the transition needed to happen, and it was good like that. Now, when you're entering talking about the plus sign, it is something that needs to take place, because at the end of the day, the phasing out needs to start to happen. And once the phase out happens, things become much more easier, because we are in a ministry where it keeps on improving and checking things that needs to change or needs to be amended. So in my own personal opinion, I believe this is a great step to the right direction, that we need to have the Adventist youth and a 30, so that this enables young people to take upon this great commission that God has given us to do in the world, to take upon leadership responsibility, crucial positions in the church, to run the church, to run their local church, to run their conferences, to ensure that things become in order. Young people need to start working for the Lord at a time like this. And once we do work for the Lord, things become much more easier, and the message of the Lord is passed down to generation and to the four corners of the earth. Thank you very much. Cheers.